The general setup of a Google form. This is video 3 of a series of videos to help you utilize and integrate Google Forms more frequently in your classroom. My name is Amanda Volz. I'm a personal finance teacher at St. Clair High School in St. Clair, Michigan, and I use Google products and Google Forms frequently in my classroom, and I think there's many benefits to using them. So in this video is mainly for the beginner and showing you how the Google form is structured. So I am going to go into my Drive. Videos 1 and 2 gave you information on where Google Forms are located on the NGPF website, and then video number 2 explained how to save it to your Google Drive and make a copy. So let me give you just the basic overview of what the Google form looks like and the different pieces to it in this short video. So this window that you're looking at right now is the actual editing window of Google Forms. So once you have made a copy of your form, then you'll see this where you can customize and edit your Google form. Immediately you have a title across the top here for your Google form, which most often will translate to this portion of your Google form, but you can customize it to be different as you see mine is. We also have the questions tab, and then once I send it to students, I have then their responses in this tab right here. And a later video will go over responses. You can see that right now by default, after pulling it off the NGPF website, this assignment or Google form assignment is a total of 10 points. Across the very top, you have this button, which is a way for you to customize the theme. Most often, NGPF has a very kind of plain theme as far as just color-coded, but you could go in and you could choose different header images, you could change background colors, you could change font styles. You can do any of those things. If I click View Image, there's some stock photos that you could use if you want to pretty up your Google form. This eyeball right here is a way for you to preview your Google form. So if you wanted to look at it from the student point of view, not this editing point of view, if I click on that preview, it will open up a new tab so I can see what it looks like from the student perspective. That's a really helpful little preview. And then finally, in this row here, you have your settings toggle. The settings in your Google form are very important, and I will go over the settings in a later video within this series. You then have a send button where you can send this Google form to your students via a variety of different methods. And again, a later form will go over that. At the very top, it's just putting in some fields here where students can type short answers. And then in this assessment, we're looking at a lesson 1.1 checking assessment. We have just some multiple choice questions for this particular assessment. So the Google form, when you pull it from the NGPF website, whatever type of activity you're doing, is already created for you. And a later video will show you how to customize this Google form. But for some of you, you might be watching these videos to then use or to create some Google forms from scratch. And that's where you'll use this bar right over here. So this little button, the plus button, I'm actually going to just click right down here so that way you can see when I enter these in. This button here allows you to add a question into your Google form. So one of the wonderful things about the NGPF curriculum is that you can fully customize it however you want to. So if you take one of their assessments or their fine print activity or even an exit ticket and you want to add more to it, you can click on that little button and it will automatically add a field in here for you to type whatever question that you want to in this cell, and then you can choose what type of question you want it to be. Do you want them to answer in short answer, a longer answer like a paragraph? Multiple choice allows only one correct answer, where checkboxes allow you to pick multiple answers if need be. A drop-down menu. Students can upload a file if you want them to through the Google form. They can do like a Likert scale or a linear scale on a scale of 1 to 10. Personally, I haven't used these two very much, but you have some multiple choice grids and checkbox grids, if that makes sense to your assignment, and then inputting date and time within their answer. So you can offer them that. Answer keys will be gone over a little bit later in a later video, and then you can make the question required or not. Required means they have to answer it. They couldn't go on or submit this form without answering the question, or you can turn that toggle off if you want to. And then if you make a mistake, Google, that's the wonderful thing about Google is it's very forgiving. So in this example, I'm just going to delete it because I don't want that particular section in there, so I can just click the trash can and it's gone. Here in the second one is a way for you to import questions from a previous Google form. So if you have an assignment or you've created something and you want to import from something else that you've created, you can pull some questions from previous Google Forms, as you see it's kind of doing on my screen right now. The third option is to add a title or a description. So if you want to kind of chunk out an assignment, I can click here and it's just going to add another section within my Google form. And again, I could add a title and a description, and if you don't like it, you can always delete it. This allows you to add an image in your Google form. So if you wanted them to analyze a particular image or document, or you screenshot something and you want them to analyze it, you can insert that right here. It'll just pull it immediately from your Google Drive, as you see, or I can pull it from my computer. And then you can also insert a video or a YouTube video. So you could search for a particular video that you would want students to watch as part of your assignment. And then the last option is to add a section. So the section means it's going to break that Google form. So for example, I can add a section here, and you see how this could be my like quiz section. So at the beginning, I only had the information of first and last name and then quiz section. So what you see when I preview this is students will have their email address, they'll put their first and last name, their class period, and then they have to go to next. That's where if you wanted to chunk something up a little bit, a longer Google form assignment, you can click next, and then I immediately go to the questions there. Here's one of the disadvantages of Google Forms is that students cannot save their progress. So just as a teacher new to Google Forms, a heads up that there is no save and come back later. So you as a teacher would have to come up with some ways that maybe students can come back and do the questions they didn't do before, or keep that just kind of in your head and cognizant of the fact that I need to get through this in one sitting, because students cannot save and come back.